Hey friends, I'm Niti the pharmacist. Welcome to my food church, and I would like to welcome today Miss Emily Penton. Welcome, Emily.
Hello.
Emily and I are going to be meeting you guys at noon Eastern Standard Time every Thursday, except for the week of Thanksgiving for a few weeks, so that we can have a little, have some more conversations about natural law as it pertains to our current situation. Like, what on earth is going on, right? What on earth is going on right now? So welcome, Emily. Thank you for joining me. We're upgrading this week. We're using this wonderful platform, and we are looking forward to being able to go live without a bunch of glitches. So, yay, upgrade.
Awesome.
Today, I'd like to talk about how natural law and human consciousness is affecting our current life experience. These are natural laws, friends. These are not Emily's or my opinions. These aren't ideas or something that she and I created. This is something that actually is a universal law, and it is happening to us and for us all the time. All the time. What do you think, Emily? Do you have any thoughts about this at all?
Well, I think the comfort that I brought, that it brought to me whenever I started understanding natural law, was that it wasn't dependent on me to hold it up, and so I can't let it down. Like, I literally can't let down the process of natural law. Like, I'm not gonna screw it up. It literally is such a comfort to me to know that nature has grace and that we are going to be able to go forward through this process. And that, does it want me to play along? Absolutely. Absolutely. But is it required that I bring my A game every day and I do exactly what I'm supposed to do and I have all of the right answers scientifically and philosophically? And no, like, I get to just play Emily. I just get to be Emily. That's the only role that I have to be, and I'm already the perfect part for the role. I'm already there. I already have the perfect personality, the perfect brain, the perfect resources and circumstances. I married the perfect man. I had the perfect child. I have the perfect job. I'm in the role of Emily, and I get to play that for the rest of my life.
You just can't get it wrong, Emily. You cannot get it wrong. And that is what we want everyone to know. Now, okay, I'm going to say that you could get it a little bit wrong. We've all made mistakes. So the mistakes that we make, I just want you to know, though, the big deal about the mistakes that we make is that with knowledge, with information, we can make better choices. Just like anything that's happening in life, we can make better choices. One of the things that's really important, I think, for everyone to know is that as we are wondering, like, what on earth is going on? Like, what is happening here in this red hot moment? Meaning, I think that everybody is aware that a couple years ago, we fell into this absolute chaos and confusion. And we're in a moment of time where things are changing. The times are changing. And the good news is that we were all born for this time. Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
We were born for this time. We were born for this time. The thing is that, human beings, I think the biggest thing that's working against humanity at this red hot moment is that we don't really understand ourselves. We don't really understand ourselves. We don't really understand how human consciousness works. And the institutions that we created to actually share information, they're not sharing it with us because the information that we need to know, that the knowledge that we need to know has been occulted. And last week we talked about the word occult and what does it mean. And yesterday I asked on my Instagram, I was asking people to tell me what they thought the word meant. And just like I thought it was something really bad, just like Emily said last week that she thought it meant something like, evil. That's what everybody says. Like everybody inevitably believes that the word occult means something evil, something bad, and it has this negative connotation with it. But the problem is that people just don't understand language. They don't understand language. They don't know what the definition of words are, actually. And now you have a new twist with linguistics theft where they're taking a lot of words that we already knew the meaning of and they're convoluting it. And then you have man's laws. And under man's laws, the legal ease, the language that's used in legal ease is even more convoluted. For example, the word mandate. The word mandate in legal ease means suggestion. But the word mandate, in layman's terms, the word mandate, in colloquial language day to day means required. If mama mandates something, it is required. It is supposed to be followed. It is some kind of rule, and or a law, versus actually in legal ease, mandate is a suggestion. It is it's a request, And if you don't understand the language, then you can't possibly operate correctly. You cannot take correct action. The problem, the reason there is so much suffering in humanity today is because there's a lack of knowledge. There's a lack of knowledge, but that's okay. We're here to help to shine a light, the light on truth. We want to de-occult, because occult means hidden knowledge specifically. We want to de-occult this knowledge. We want to reveal it. We want to unveil it. We want to present it because, I think I can speak for you, Emily, that you and I both want everyone to know the truth, because if you know the truth, you can no longer fall for the trick.
You can't unsee it once you see it.
If we reveal it to you, if you hear it, if you see it with us, it's game over. There are no more tricks that can be played on us because we will have seen the light, seen the truth, right? So let's talk about consciousness. So humans basically express consciousness in 3 ways, okay? So we express consciousness in our thoughts, in our emotions, and in our actions. See, it's real simple. It's not even really complicated. So thoughts are just manifestations. They are neither masculine or feminine. They just are. Thoughts just are. Actually, they're more of an intuition. Have you ever had a thought, Emily? And did you ever really wonder where did it come from?
Oh, absolutely. And even down to, oh my gosh, that was a really good idea. Where did that come from? Like, that wasn't me. That was brilliant.
Maybe it was you. Maybe it was an entire cadre of your light workers that are giving you inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we need to practice doing, friends, is going, where did that idea come from? Where did that thought come from? Wait a minute. Did that come from the news?
Mm.
Hey, is this actually something I thought of? Did I watch something on television and it made me think this? Did I watch a movie and it made me get scared of the dark? I think we've all kind of been through something like that, right?
Did I talk to a relative and they told me that the sky is falling? And I believed the sky is falling.
Did my mom diminish me again? I don't think moms mean to do that, y'all. Our mothers really, really love us. They just don't know any better, just like the rest of us. Like, you don't know what you don't know, right? I think that it's important for us to allow ourselves some grace, and once you know something, you can't ignore it. If you just heard what we said, if you just saw what we're saying, if you just saw us speaking and you went away, because what happens when the truth is coming at you, Emily?
Yeah, you're probably trying to duck it, or it doesn't feel good. It feels like, ooh, that doesn't feel like my little comfort zone.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We're going to make you really uncomfortable, guys. And be as offended as you can be, okay? Like, be as offended as you can. And the thing that I hope is that, you know what, Emily? I hope people don't associate you and me with this truth. I've had people come here to the food church and say to me that I had assaulted them. And then they said, "You didn't really assault me. You spoke truth, and that truth assaulted me." And after the last 3 years, I was able to reconcile it and realize it wasn't you.
That's funny.
It was just that you said something. I didn't like it. And now I realize that it was just the truth.
Yeah.
So once we understand and we know these thoughts, where are they coming from? Once we can acknowledge, this intuition, this vibration, this, idea, where did it come from? How does it make you feel? That's the first thing.
Mm.
How does it make you feel? Emily, you've been doing some great things. How do you come up with these ideas?
I'm just open to it. The way that I describe it is that I got my pipe cleaned out. I got the things that were in the way, blocking it, out of the way, and now I just am able to get a clear message.
I've been watching you for a really long time, and I remember when you were assaulted by the truth. Mm-hmm. And then I remember that you came back to me and you were like, "Oh my God, I remember you said this. What do you mean? What are you talking about?" And now all I see from you is this deliberate Emily. You are just so focused. You want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. And it came in layers, and I know that you were, I know what you meant before by saying that sometimes we make mistakes or get it wrong. But I can look back now over the past 3-4 years and say it all had to happen. It all had to happen in that sequence at that time with those people so that I could be where I'm at right now. I think back to many situations where I was just like Niti and I got kicked off of places. Like people just didn't want me there. I was too much for them. I spoke too much truth and they were just like, you cannot be in our group. And at first it hurt. And I was just like, what did I do wrong? Like, oh, and then now I'm just like, oh, I'm freer. I'm even more free. And then whenever I was able to walk away from my corporate job, oh my goodness. I mean, how many times did I sent you that picture of me with the mask on, and every time I put the mask on, I knew I am a slave. I am a slave. I am playing this role in this facade, this absolute ridiculousness right now. But I had that anchor of being able to reach out to you and say, hey, Niti, look, I'm playing a part today. Hey, look, I got a mask on. Isn't this ridiculous? Instead of me walking in going, yes, I am doing my duty. I am wearing a mask because I am protecting the people in my office. No, I knew the truth. And then I knew the truth so well that I broke free and I quit the job, and I will never wear a mask again. I can say that I will never wear a mask again. And I'm so grateful for that. But it took layers. It took pieces of the puzzle for me to really understand and to kind of operate in my role. Because it was uncomfortable at every level to shed one skin and to put on a new skin.
Shedding the slave self. So I just changed the ticker. We have to take responsibility for our thoughts, friends. Sovereignty is from within ourselves. Yeah. So this is the reason that we're doing this. The reason that we're talking is the most powerful weapon, Emily, that we have is our voice.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure to speak the truth. And you did. We have to not only speak the truth, but we have to take correct action. And what is correct action? Correct action is when we are thinking the thought and we are feeling good about it and we are taking that action. If we are thinking a thought, hey, we shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be wearing this mask. We shouldn't be playing this game. And we're inside feeling like, oh my God, what are we doing? This is so bad. This is so wrong. And then we take the action anyway. The problem with that is that now you are in direct opposition to yourself. And when you operate in direct opposition to yourself, you're not honoring the self.
And that was far more uncomfortable.
Yes.
I recognized that pretty quickly, that it was far more uncomfortable for me to be playing this role that I knew was a joke than it was for me to shed that other skin and put on a new skin. And so you just got to choose your uncomfortable. And now that I'm on this side of it, oh my gosh, it feels so good in my new coat. I'm just like, yeah, I am rocking this skin.
But you couldn't have gotten there until you aligned with your thought and your emotion.
Yep, I felt it.
And that is what Emily is the demonstrator of in very powerful ways, guys. Because this is the thing. I was like, dude, I cannot be like Emily, wearing the mask, loving these kids, doing this work that was important, that she loved, with a freaking mask and a veil of lies. But instead, she made it a game for herself. She realized that she has to embrace the suck. That's what, like people will say these things, right? Embrace the suck. This is what it means, friends. And what it means is that your thought has to match your emotion and your action. And you can't fake that. You know how they say fake it till you make it?
Nope.
You weren't faking it. You were making it. You were not faking it. You were making it. But you weren't doing what you really wanted to do but you knew that this was the path to do what you wanted to do. And if you have to walk the path to get to where you need to get to, then you have to do it in alignment with your emotion. This is human consciousness, guys. What it is that our human consciousness is what is being hunted. That is the prize. That is what is being hunted.
And what was fun was that I was making the corporation work for me. I was pimping them out.
Talk about it, girl. Talk about it, Emily. How were you pimping them?
I knew my potential. I knew what was about to happen in me. I saw the absolute like abundance and brilliance and power that I was getting ready to walk in. And I recognized that this was a tiny little stepping stone. And so I was just like, okay, what can I do to maximize my joy so that I can literally suck the life out of this corporation and that I can feed and fuel my soul so that I can be powerful enough to shed this corporation and to go and to be where I'm at now, where I have my online practice and I'm working by myself and I am literally performing miracles on a daily basis with complete freedom. But I had to go through this process and I went through it as fast as I could. I was just like, okay. When can we stop? When can we stop? When can we stop? And then finally
so fast. You did it so fast. I mean, I think fast was at least a year though, right?
2 years.
Oh, I can't believe 2 years.
Yeah.
I can't believe 2 years.
But it went from 30 hours to 20 hours to 15 hours to 10 hours to my last month, I was working 5 hours a week. And so that therein, I was able to get that freedom, even at a sooner rate.
Well, what you did was you created thoughts. So this is the other cool thing, guys. This is the other thing you need to know about how we work, how human consciousness works. We can even create the thoughts. We can make the thoughts. We don't have to wait for some inspiration. We can make the thoughts, but let's be very careful. Let's be very careful that generally you want to follow some inspired idea, which is usually, for your own prosperity and your own abundance and your own, yeah, I think we should call it a desire. People might get confused if what their thought is a desire. So this is another thing that's been happening is that we have been giving our power, we've been giving our attention, meaning our attention, our focus. What have we been paying attention to? What have we been giving our attention towards? Maybe it's your job. Maybe it is, the virtue signaling. How are we supposed to behave in society? Oh, let me follow the signals on Insta or Facebook or the moms on the yard or whatever, Also, okay, get ready. Get ready to be really offended, okay?
I'm going to catch it.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
Religion. I know. The religious institutions have been compromised. How do we know this? I don't know. Maybe if you were paying attention a couple years ago when they weren't allowing you even to gather because God wasn't good enough then. How come God's good enough sometimes and not all the time? I don't really know. I don't really understand. I think we just lost every viewer we had, but it's like, no. We're going to have the hard conversations here. Just, be as offended as you want to be. But, you can't grow and you can't improve and you can't change your life if you aren't willing to face the hard truths of the wrong actions that you've been taking. I mean, you can't be doing as bad as I was. I was doing such a bad job that we literally lost a child because I was so bad at what I was doing. And people don't want me to say that. They don't
I
want
know.
me to say it, Emily. They don't want me to take responsibility for my irresponsible actions, but I will 100% own it. I'm 100% prepared to say that I have to take responsibility for my thoughts. I have to take responsibility for my thoughts. Some fool, well, they weren't fools. I was the fool. Somebody allowed me, somebody made me believe. No, I allowed someone to have all my power so that I believed them that they were going to allow me to depend on them, and I should. I believed I should depend on them. I believed I'm supposed to depend on professional medical doctors because, they're geniuses and I'm just a mom. What do I know? Nothing. I don't know nothing. Apparently. No, that's not true. All of us have knowledge. All of us have infinite intelligence that's flowing to us and through us, but this has been occulted. It has been hidden. This is a truth that has been hidden. You have infinite intelligence that's flowing to you and through you. And I know that you think it is only the white light of Christ or only this or only that or whatever, like they believe it's only coming from some religious institution. Now, some of those ideas are true and nice and good. And then some of it's been adulterated, by mankind for manipulative or deceptive purposes. So we have to go ahead and admit that there are somebody who has a knowledge differential that is trying to use that knowledge differential as a power differential. What is their motivation for that? I don't know, because we're not sinister people. Like, I can't know. Unless you're a sinister person, you don't really understand that. And the majority of the people are not sinisters people. We're liquid love. And we're just looking for a place to happen. Right? So, these are things we don't want to talk about because it doesn't make us feel very good. But we're just going to go be uncomfortable for a minute so that we can reveal and unveil these truths that are universal laws, which actually give us so much freedom, right? As evidenced by Miss Emily over here, freaking crushing bombs. She changed her life so hard and so fast, which is what I keep shining a light on. And that's why I wanted to talk about this with Emily, because I watched her do a freaking 180. I don't think I know anybody who more powerfully stepped out of their prison and as fast as you did, Emily. I don't think I know anybody like that, really.
I feel like I did it for other reasons. Like, I feel like I did it for me. Like, absolutely. I want this. I want this freedom. I want this sovereignty. I want to operate in exactly the reason and the way that I've been designed. But I feel a different mantle on me.
What do you mean?
I feel that I'm a way shower. I feel that I am supposed to go through this publicly, and then I'm supposed to show other people their power.
Yes.
Not show other people my power, but show other people their power by putting up the mirror of me and going, hey, guess what? I'm a human and you're a human and we both get to do this. Like, what I just did, you get to do. It's totally there. You have the same resources that I had.
I don't know. I think you're just more disciplined, or, I don't know, you're just better.
Nope. Not even close. Not even close.
I think what we want people to know out there, Emily, is that yes, we were forged in our. Okay, here's what it is, y'all. The way that natural law works is you have an immediate consequence for every action. We have an immediate consequence for every action, just like my words have an immediate emotional response for you when you receive the words. Like when I said that religious institutions are, manipulating us, and everybody's like, oh, no, ixnay, you can't say that. Okay, if that gave you an immediate response, in that same way, when you defy gravity, you have an immediate response. See? Watch. Immediate. Every single time. Every time I drop it, or every time I let it go, it just falls, right? And in the same way, when you operate in immorality, which means that you operate in opposition to yourself. That is really all immorality means. You know in your heart what you're doing is wrong. You know what you're doing isn't feeling good. You know that you don't want to do what you're doing, but you're doing it because somebody virtue signaled you. Your mama told you to. Your daddy said you had to.
You're operating in fear.
You're being controlled but manipulated by somebody because you feel like you have to, because you need a paycheck or whatever. Unless you embrace it and pimp them the way that Emily pimped her company or whatever it is. And corporation. I mean, look, that's the attitude. You can do what you have to do to get where you need to get with a different attitude, with an agenda of your own. Her agenda was, I got to get out of here, and I need to be responsible for my own income, and I need to create it myself. And so therefore, I have to do this to do that. And so I am using this path for the correct thing. And so I'm doing the right thing, which means that she was able to reconcile, her action with her thought, with her emotion, and she was able to work in a situation that she didn't agree with because it was the path of least resistance to get her to where she needed to get to so she could have her full vision come to fruition. This is the moment where people try to say, Emily, that we're hypocrites.
Well, and I think another part of what I did was I literally put on a different pair of glasses every day that I was going into that moment and going, okay, I'm playing this role. I'm putting on this mask. I'm going into this corporation. I'm having them sign a silly piece of paper that says I have a waiver for the job, which is just laughable, like absolutely laughable. And so we're playing this game. I'm going into this corporation and I am receiving pure liquid love from my coworkers and from the children in my care. And I let it fuel me. I saw it as that I was able to sit there and have on tap pure liquid love every single day, Monday through Friday. And it was amazing and it was magical. And it was my joy to go into work instead of, here I am, I'm a slave, I'm going in and I'm the only I think there were three of us that didn't have the jab, and I've got this piece of paper, I'm in the dunce corner, I'm bad because I'm not helping my grandma, I'm not saving my grandma, and I'm bad. No.
You could have said you're bad, but you knew you weren't because it's a lie. These are lies. Lies on lies. So the other thing that you didn't do was walk a line. So the other thing that people do that is in opposition to yourself, okay, it is an immoral action, is when you walk this line between truth and lies. When you say, I know that this is lies, okay? I know that this isn't true, but this is what I got to do to travel, and I'm going to have a good time. And so I'm going to just do what I have to, what I'm told. I'm going to do what I'm told because I am going to be free. And I'm going to buy my freedom by doing what I'm told. Even though I know it's not really true. I'll be the first one. Let me be first. Let me be first. There's a bunch of those people.
Yeah, you're right.
There was a bunch of those people that were like, let me be first because I'm getting on a plane. I'm going to Jamaica. I'm going to wherever. I'm going to go have fun. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop living. Okay, they just want me to do something else. We don't care that it's wrong. We don't care that it's going to kill a bunch of people. We don't care that we're having a human sacrifice. We don't care that this is the next great human extinction. We don't care about all of these things. We just are going to do the thing that everybody wants us to do so that we are going to be free. Well, you're just pretending to be free. Actually free. And guess what? The universe knows that. You can't, your words don't matter. Your words don't matter. The show that you put on for people is it completely not that. Okay, so here's the other thing. Did you know, Emily? Perception is not reality. Did you know that? Perception, friends, is not reality. Perception is the filter with which we see reality. You said you were putting on your goggles? You were. This was your perception, and you would put them on and say, okay, I'm going to align with this because I get to hold babies all day and they get to love on me and I get to feel their energy and I get to love on them. And I do love them. And that is not a lie. So therefore, this is not a lie. And I'm going to sit in that truth and hold them as hard and strong as I can for however long that I can and get my paycheck. Because my paycheck is for me to just hold the babies. And so that was, first of all, I thought that was brilliant. A lot of people think, you know, caring for children, day caring is like, you know, below them.
Well, and it was interesting because that was where I started 20 years ago. And so a logical mind would say, oh, you're regressing. Or you have your master's degree in clinical counseling. Why would you go be a 2-year-old's teacher? I chose to be a 2-year-old's teacher. And I knew that I was going to be able to have my online practice with self-pay, with no insurance, complete freedom. And it was worth it to go through this process and get that liquid love from these 2-year-olds and to go to, because if I had had a job that was like in my league, I would have been so drained to be in that kind of a corporate, to have all the documentation and all of the administration and all of the blah, 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 blah. I wanted to go and just enter into 2-year-old land and just like enjoy the love. And that was my decision. And it was, looking back, the best decision that I made, like brilliant decision that I made. And it worked. So there you go. It worked.
Well, every time that you take a chip towards your correct path, on the correct path, as you're chipping away at this, you know, which is what you did. Like, you weren't living in the way that you wanted to. Let's just recap, okay? Miss Emily started in a camper without running water, on food stamps, with MS and bipolar disorder. Where is that crazy person? Nowhere. Nowhere. How did she dig herself out of this pit and find her way into her own place with you were legally granted like full custody of your kids, your son. After somebody tried to take them away, y'all, let's just get that. I mean, there was a big old craziness.
Yeah, I don't talk about that publicly, but yes.
Okay, sorry. It's not my story to tell.
That's okay.
I just
well, it's so hard because you know all the behind the story.
Like, I'm sorry.
The public story is enough, but then when you know the extra 3 layers of my behind the story, it's just like, oh, what is happening?
Y'all don't know what all she's been going through, and I apologize, Emily, publicly. I apologize.
I'm fine.
It's not my story to tell. And I really try very hard not to ever tell anybody else's story. And I apologize. That was really.
It's okay. Everybody in my town knows the story. So you're not saying something that you can't go to church. You can go to church right now and go hear the story because they had a prayer meeting about it.
Oh,
they put me on the prayer list.
I just think that your bravery and courage to love yourself enough is so important for people to know. Like Emily was able to love herself enough and really courageous enough to use that to find her way out, and all so that she could be in service to everybody.
Well, and what I love is that I got a whiff of you. And I think that's what confuses me the most sometimes is when I look back and I'm like, oh, I was so like confused. How did I ever see Niti? How did I ever hear what she was saying? But all I needed was just a whiff. And then I was just like, whoa. I want more of that. I want one. Tell me more truth. Tell me more truth. Tell me more truth. And
okay, so I did do a little psych op on you. Just a little bit.
Thank you.
Just a little bit. I mean, the little psych op that I did on you was like, oh yeah, girl, you don't even know what I know. It's fine. I'm just here. I'm just your friend. I just want to hang out. You don't have to like what I say. You know, and I really tell everybody that when people are just like, oh my God, Niti, I'm just like, oh, sorry. Yeah, you know. Yes, I'm kind of crazy.
I know nothing.
What do I know? I'm just a mom. I don't know nothing. Mamas don't know very much. We don't know nothing. I'm just a little old Indian woman over here.
Like you couldn't fool me. You couldn't fool me. And I was like, I felt like I was just like holding on. And I was just like, no. Like, don't let go. Like, I want to talk to you more. I want to talk to you more. I want to talk to you more. And I was so grateful. And then whenever you started, you know, just sharing with me these other truths, I was just like eating it up. Like, I'll never forget the untethered soul. I mean, all you did was tell me. How many people do you tell on a daily basis, you should read this book? You should read that book. You should read this book. But I listened. I went, Niti told me I should read a book. I'm going to read it. I read it within 2 days. I absorbed it and I read it. I've read it 4 times now. And it just totally changed my life.
I think that what people need to know is that you and I hit ground zero. Like, we were completely at the bottom of the emotional scale.
Yeah.
We were completely for totally different reasons, because she and I were taking action that did not align with our emotions. And we were in an opposition with ourselves for a very long time. And that is immoral action. I didn't know that, and I know you didn't know that. Like, we wouldn't
No.
have done that knowing it. We did it out of, this is not called ignorance. When we did that, it was called nescience.
Nescience?
Yes. Okay, a new word of the day. I'll put it here in the comments, okay?
I've never heard of that.
Nescience. So the difference between nescience and I might be saying it wrong. Oops. But the difference between nescience and ignorance is nescience is information, knowledge that we're not expected to know. Versus ignorance. Ignorance is when we see the truth, we know that there is a truth out there, and we ignore it. Because it is too hard to hear somebody say that religious institutions are manipulating us, or our mothers are manipulating us, or, someone we love is manipulating us, or our
government.
Our abuser is manipulating us, or our doctor is manipulating us, or that our doctor would even have the nerve to do that. And I mean, maybe your doctor does do it on purpose because he's an arrogant, has a God complex. Maybe he doesn't. We don't know. Also, we don't care. That's not even the point. What we know is they go to work every day spreading lies against natural law. And they might be just doing it because of nescience. They don't know it. They don't know that what they're doing is out of alignment with the truth. They don't know that, maybe. Maybe they do know that because after thousands of patients, you should start to see some truths. Like, we have seen thousands of people turn their lives around by removing plants out of their lives and only eating meat, which this isn't a meat show, okay? I'm just saying, when you see the truth in action, you can't unsee it. And when you see that every single time that someone has some suffering, it is because they're doing something they're not supposed to be doing, which means that they're not honoring the law of nature. They're not honoring Emily, I want people, and I was talking about this. I went live the other day and I was talking about this on that live. I said that if you guys, really want to watch some fantasy, go on Netflix and watch this show. It's called Alone.
Oh, I heard that live. That was interesting.
If you, and as a coach, Emily, for the work that you do, you need to watch it.
I haven't seen it. I don't even think I have Netflix. I'll have to see if I have Netflix. I don't think I do.
It is worth the investment for you to just watch that show and then turn it off, okay? But just watch it, because this is the thing that's so fascinating to me. For all the people that scream and yell at us and tell us how important plants are, watch that show. Watch that show and tell me who is winning and who is losing and why. And then let's just bring that information right on back. But like that, if you want to know the truth about something really fast, go immerse yourself in the wild. I was told the other day by my own husband that we don't live in nature. And I said, you mean we don't live in the wild? He was like, yeah. I'm like, no. You have to be very specific. We are 100% immersed in nature, even if we're living in a city, people, okay? And if you're living in a city and you think that you're not living immersed in nature because you're in the city, and you are confusing that with living in the wild, friends, universal law is pouring consequence over you like this because you believe a lie, and that is an immoral life. You know what I think is fascinating, and let's try to wrap it up now, but in religious institutional conversations, immorality looks like what? Looks like what, Emily? What is immoral according to the religious institutions?
Sin.
What is that? Like, what is sinful?
Committing adultery, hating your neighbor, taking the Lord's name in vain.
Okay. That's like, what about walking the line? What about watching someone do something that is a lie and not saying anything about it? What is that?
Evil prevails when good men do nothing.
When you're allowing a lie, what do you call that? How is that interpreted?
I don't know the word.
I'm saying, isn't it sinful to allow lies or deceit? How is it different to allow someone to require someone else to violate their body, medically or otherwise, in order to be considered worthy?
Yep.
Isn't it God's law that there is no one man more worthy than another or superior to another?
Mm-hmm.
Do people know that? Isn't it God's law that there is no one person who can lord over another person?
Mm.
Is that true or not true?
I think it's true.
Okay, well, all I'm saying is natural law sees it as there is nobody more worthy than another human being. There's no human being that's more worthy than another human being.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, you can't require one human being to do anything against their will. It is law. And if you do that, it is an immoral action. I would argue that we have witnessed millions of these immoral actions being forced. And I've been speaking out against it from the beginning, calling it out, calling it out, calling it out. I think you have too. I think a lot of people have. And if you haven't, then you can just know that whatever you're experiencing, whatever discomfort that you're experiencing, whatever you're experiencing that isn't what you want, that's an immediate consequence from the universe. That is an unseen consequence. You know how you can see this one? You see it, right? It's kind of easier to believe this because you can see it right now.
Mm-hmm.
But as fast as this happens, that's how fast you have a consequence for every immoral action. So just stop it. If you just start doing correct action, guess what? That's how easy it is to just walk in another direction. Me and Emily have both made incorrect actions. We both suffered the consequences of those incorrect actions, mostly due to lack of knowledge. And then once we had the knowledge, once we knew what to do, the minute that Emily figured out that I got to eat this meat, it needs to be regenerative. It can't be out of a CAFO. It has to be more powerful and have more life force than me. How fast did you recover?
From that incident, that food injury, I recovered, I would say within, I noticed a difference immediately, but I would say within 5 days.
I don't know any medicine that man makes that gives that kind of grace to anybody. Only nature has that much grace.
Mm-hmm.
Only nature has that much grace. So when we're talking about natural law, one of the things I want everyone to take home with them today, Emily, is consciousness. And we're going to talk a little bit more. One more thing I want to say about consciousness is, a lot of folks don't even understand this. And so I thought this would be a neat thing for me to share with you. And, I need everybody to forgive me that I'm not very technologically advanced, so that I'm not throwing up I should probably be throwing up some kind of screen share or something like that right now. But, I'm going to do this the old fashioned way with a magic marker. Okay.
That works.
Okay. But what people don't understand about our consciousness is that we're electrical beings. We are vibrational beings, right? So everything we do, our thoughts, they're all happening on some kind of vibrational frequency. And what we see is a vibration. What we hear is a vibration. I think people know music is a vibration, Okay, so this is going to be my rudimentary drawing. Okay, can everybody see this? Okay, so you see these black lines, the black lines that you see across the pages here?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to view the black lines as the unwavering truth. Okay? And then I want see the purple lines? I don't know if you can tell that they're purple, but the wavy lines?
Yes.
Those are a frequency. Okay? And you see, every time that you see this go this way, then this is how frequently that this person A, this individual A, is intersecting with truth. This individual B and this individual C, right? So this individual C has a higher consciousness because they're intersecting with the truth more frequently than this individual A. See that?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So if that's true, what do you call it when that means that person is only in alignment with the truth at the time of the connection, okay?
The intersection.
The intersection. What happens if you are infinitely aligned with the truth? Then it looks like this. When you are infinitely aligned with truth, then it looks like this. It looks like you are one with the truth. And this is what we are supposed to be working towards. And this person is what people consider enlightened. This is enlightenment, what it looks like. When you are operating 100% in truth. So we're not saying that that you can't go up and down the scale. Maybe you do go up and down the scale at the beginning. The focus, what your goal is to be right here. Okay.
Well, and once you feel how good that feels, you want to stay there. You don't want to go back to the elementary level.
Correct. Once you figure it out, guys, you're not stupid. Once you figure it out, like what we said last week, once the light has come in, you don't go back into full darkness again. You don't have to worry about that because you can't forget what we just talked about today. Okay. Once you have heard this, now you're going to have a lot to say. You're going to have a lot to share with us. And I want everyone in the comments of this video to put in all of their incredible experiences as they are walking more and more and more powerfully in truth. Because the truth is flowing to you and through you all the time. If you're ever confused, watch that show Alone. Immerse yourself in nature and you will learn real fast. And I'm going to just say this for the people who follow us for nutrition. If you don't understand and believe that plants are poisoning us because you think that plants aren't alive,
and your mama told you to eat your vegetables,
I want you to go get naked and lay down in the garden and go to sleep. And then when you wake up, you can tell us who's eating what. I don't know very many people that don't have some kind of immediate reaction just to the wrong plant rubbing their body. That's how poisonous plants are. If you rub across the wrong plant, some of them poison you that way. Some of them poison you when you eat them. And the toxins in plants are more powerful than any toxins that man can make.
Wow.
Man makes toxins anyway. We're only using natural things to do that. Hello. Some man is using a bunch of natural materials that they put together in a lab, and maybe they add heat or something to it, okay? They condition it with heat or water or something. Because, the only thing they have to work with is the stuff that's out here in nature. That's how powerful nature is. So I think that's a good place to close. What do you think, Emily?
Awesome. No, thank you so much. I love this conversation.
Well, I hope that we help a lot of folks out there pay more attention to your thoughts. Think about how it makes you feel. And emotions, by the way, y'all, are masculine. That's a masculine trait. It is masculine, and it is powerful, and it is immediate, and the action that you take behind that, make sure it's lined up. Line it up and take action accordingly. If your gut's like, this is not I can't do this, then you just can't. Heed the, warning from your emotions, from your internal litmus test that's going on all the time. Okay? All right.
I love it.
We love you so much, and see us next week at noon, where we're going to expand this conversation. We're going to expand it further, okay?
Thank you. Bye.